Hey everybody, it's Matthew here. I hadn't made a video in a pretty good while, so I just figured I would update you on what's been going on. I had a job at Walmart for a while, and well, not for a while really. I was only working there for 2 months. But anyway, I'll tell you a little bit of what I learned, I guess you could say. Just to show proof in case anybody don't believe me. Here's my Walmart badge. And as you can see, I was a receiving associate, which apparently at my store they generalize. Everybody that works at night, I guess, is a receiving associate instead of a store associate or whatever. I can't even remember which the actual positions was, but anyway, I was a stalker that worked overnight, and so I worked 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. and I've worked that job or those hours before, that shift, and it's alright. I mean, the Walmart that I worked at does not pay very good, which I guess they pay better than some places do, but I made $7.55 working overnight, and with the shift differential, which was 50 cents at my store, I made $7.95, which, you know, I brought home some decent money, and it was good while it lasted. But I also have the other job at the paint store, so that was just too much having both of those jobs at one time. And I was working probably 16 out of 24 hours, if not more. Sometimes working 20 of 24 hours. So my body could just not handle it. My apartment was getting very messy. I didn't have time to cook anymore. Of course, I can obviously stand to lose some weight, but my groceries were piling up because I was having to eat on the road, basically. Pretty much stopping at gas stations or at the store beside where my other job and grabbing a bite to eat. And just things were piling up here and getting very messy. I was not getting any sleep, and I was getting more depressed because, I guess, of the lack of sleep. And I just wasn't as efficient as I should have been because of the lack of sleep. But just in the 2 months that I worked there, I did notice several issues. Okay, so they have what's called telzons, or some stores call them Gemini, some stores call them 960s or something like that. But basically, it's an ordering gun, as I call them at my other job when I worked at the grocery store. We just called them guns there, ordering guns. But at Walmart they called them telzons. Well, anyway, there was a shortage of telzons, and to get ahead, or even to get where you needed to be, it was good if you had a telzon and a printer, because my job especially, stocking, if you have overstock, you have to print a label, you have to scan it with the telzon, print an inventory label, and send it to the back room. But we would work the trucks. We usually had about 6 or 7 pallets, maybe not that much sometimes, and sometimes there could be more than that. It just depends on how busy the store had been and how much grocery had sold, which I worked in grocery most of the time. But we usually had around 6 or 7 pallets. And just, I don't know. You needed to have a telzon and printer if you wanted to print those labels, and if you didn't, then it was going to be a bad night for you, because you have to run around looking for somebody that has a telzon and printer, And even if you found somebody with the tails on, they may not have a printer, they may be using somebody else's, so you have to go even further. And if you worked like I did, which I just did this because that's how I worked at the grocery store, I would get stuff that went in one aisle or on both sides of one aisle, so I wouldn't have to keep running back and forth looking for everything. I would just grab stuff for one aisle so I could quickly get that knocked out and go get another cart worth of stuff, and so on and so on. I felt like I was more efficient that way because I could get more stock put out. And yeah, so I mean, they had a pretty good system with clocking in and out. You were allowed to be up to 15 minutes late without anything being said to you, and that's a pretty good system. I've never worked at a job that allowed you to be that late. I think when I worked at the grocery store, I think you was allowed to be up to 5 minutes late, and you could get wrote up if you were over that. So Walmart did have its fair share of innovations, or whatever you want to call it. There was another issue with having to look for managers. Like, okay, they have this task system, and you had to task in and out. You had to complete these tasks. Even though the store I worked at was not a super center, it's just a regular Walmart. And the task system, I'm pretty sure, was designed for more of super center stores. Because it would say, you know, stock this aisle, you have 15 minutes to do it. Do this, fill up water, you have 30 minutes, just whatever task, you know. Work in automotive, you have 3 hours and 45 minutes. I don't know how the time was calculated, but it would just tell you what department you needed to work in, or what aisle you needed to work in, and how long you had to do it. But, I mean, you know, if it was used correctly, I'm sure it would work well. But our store, we basically tasked in and tasked out and kept doing what we was doing because we didn't really go by the task system. So this is where it kind of broke down, I guess you can say. You had to go look for a manager when you did get done with what you was doing to find out what you had to do next. And sometimes you'll be looking for a manager for 10, 15 minutes because you'll be asking people, have you seen this manager? And they'll say, yeah, they were just back there. You go there, they're not there. There will be somebody there, and they'll say, yeah, they went to this place, and you'll go there, and they're not there. And it just got to the point where I got on the intercom and told them to page wherever I was at. And when they paged me, I'd ask what they needed me to do next, because I didn't feel like running all over the store and trying to find out what to do. So anyway, so that's the whole manager deal. But I mean, I don't know. When I was hired, I did have grocery store experience, and I put that the least I would take, which, by the way, they apparently don't look at, but I put the least I would take would be $8 an hour, and of course they gave me $7.55, so yeah, that went right out the window. Even though I did get 40 hours a week, which was really good, but I only planned on getting that job because it was part-time, and they refused to cut my time, which I know sounds really stupid because people's thinking, what person in their right mind don't want 40 hours? Well, if you're already working another job that you get plenty of hours, working 80 hours a week is really kind of difficult. I mean, I'm sure there's people that out there do it, and I'm sure there's probably people that enjoys it, but it's just, it was way too much for me. I was never getting any sleep, especially working 2 different shifts. There would be many times that I had to work 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., go into my other job at 8 a.m., and work till 7 p.m. and then turn around and go back into Walmart at 10 p.m. and work till 7, and then turn around and go back again at 8 or 9 a.m. So I was getting very little sleep, and it was just really starting to get to me. So anyway, that's what's been going on with my life. I'm back down to the one job now, so I'm pretty sure I'll be fine financially. And I did get some stuff while I was while I had both jobs. I got to get several appliances that I'll show you later on. I did get that toaster oven that I wanted. It's more like a regular oven because you can put pizzas or anything in it really and bake stuff, so that's good. And I'm just now getting my apartment cleaned up to my standards, because there was trash everywhere. I mean, it looked basically like one of those apartments you see on the Horton shows. It was really getting bad. So thankfully I have got it cleaned up, and hopefully it'll stay that way. And anyway, I don't know how long this has ended up being, but just figured I would give you my little experience with Walmart. And so anyway, thanks for listening, and hope everybody has a good day. So thanks for watching.